All right, I'm back on this part 3. Kind of want to finish this up, but as usual, I mean, we're going to get some storms, so I'm going to have to put a stop to this. Everything's lined up. 87 west over here, 105 west, 99 west, 101 west, 97 west. On this one here, 72 west. Actually 71 west. I'm getting 71 west, a bunch of Mexican channels, encrypted. All right, back on this. Got my wires run. I'm doing a scan checkup. I'm doing SES2 right now. Okay, got Florida Lottery. Should have the PBS mucks in there as well. So I got SES2 down. All right, I got SES3 locked. Doing this final scan on SES3. Got SES3 scanned in, pretty much. 18%, doing pretty good on SES3. We know I got a lock, so I'm gonna go on to the next one. All right, I'm down to this last one here. Galaxy 16, I'm gonna do a final scan on it. Then I'm gonna get it all done. After I get this final scan on Galaxy 16 done, then I'm gonna go ahead and put my box on there, hook everything together, and get ready to run everything in there to my switches. And I'll get all that done. Okay, I got Montana PBS in there. I'm pretty sure the other ones will kick in there as well. The rest of the PBS will probably kick right on in there. So, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get this all hooked up. Got all my wires run, got them all taped together, got them all numbered. I number every one of them, that way I don't get thrown off. I got this one, this will be port 1, port 2, etc., port 3, 4, 5. These over here, same way. I got these already numbered already, 1, 2 through 8. And I got the ones in the house marked 1 through 8 as well. So that way everything should line right up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and run all this stuff and put me a box right here and tie everything here and ground everything and run everything in this house and go ahead and get all this mess done. And I'm gonna start watching TV. This is mostly hooked up for news, mostly. That's why I got all these off the ball satellite, 87 west. I mean right now I got 91 on there. But like I say, a couple of them are dead pretty much. There's nothing on 89. Last time I checked, it had nothing on 85. Didn't have nothing on it. I believe 91 is defunct. I believe 93 is gone as well. We know 125 west is gone. But hopefully they'll bring some more in, and all I got to do is just bump these over there to those ones that's got open space. Hopefully they'll put some more satellites in there on the KU band. Okay, I'm doing my final touches here. I'm hooking my box up. Got put coax on all these wires. I'm gonna run some wires this way and do 8 that way and put them together. So then I'll be able to find me a signal on these wires and put everything together. That'll be it. It's about 102 degrees out here. So I'm just doing a little as I can. But I got this. I got a couple more to do here. Okay, I'm continuing on this video now. What I'm going to do, all these here, I'm going to try to find a signal. So I figured the easiest way to do is just run it to my television and hook this TV, take this TV outside. What now I'm doing right now, I'm doing a channel scan. I'm getting all these channels on this TV, and I'm going to take this up outside. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a female on each one of these, starting with number 1, and go out there and try to find number 1 out there, put a female and try every one of them, see if I can get a signal through the TV using these cables, running it through the cable. And I'm going to see if I can get a signal when I go out there using the off-air antenna. What I do is I find the weakest station and I know it's not close by, and I will use that as my reference channel to go by, and I'll run a signal through each one of these. That's how I find what cable matches what. So I'll start with number 1, and that way I'll know to put number 1 on each end once I get a signal. You kind of get the picture of what I'm doing. There's other ways to do it. You can do a probe, but I usually use a 9-volt battery and put on here and plug it into one of them 9-volt battery adapters, you know, radios, and I have a little adapter that I can screw in, but I can't find that thing. I need a 9-volt battery. So I figured, well, this is the best way to do it right here. Just use a signal on a portable TV. That's the best way to do it. Find the right cable. Then once I find the right cable, I'll hook all that stuff outside. And I'll come in here and I'll do me a satellite scan. I'll hook me a switch to it. And I'll do all that right now. What I'm gonna do now is find what cable goes to what using an antenna. Using this TV right here. That's the easiest way I can do it I can think of. And once I do that, then I can go ahead and hook all this stuff up. Okay, I got my antenna cables hooked up. Got number 1 there. That's running through the cable up under here to the outside. That's coming from my antenna. That's going from my cable to my outside, and this is coming from the antenna. I'm gonna do every one the same way. Find the signal on the other end. That way I can label it number 1. I can label all these the correct number on the outside, and each one of these numbers will correspond to the satellite. And I'm gonna write up a little diagram, and I really just write a number on it because everything changes. Sometimes I'll move everything around. All I gotta do is change everything in the book, just leave the numbers the same. So I'm gonna go ahead and find a signal outside. Okay, I'm gonna find a signal. I got my TV out here. I got my wire hooked up here. I turn my TV on, no signal. Okay, so we know this one don't work. So I'm gonna pull this one back off. That one's off. I'm gonna put this one on this one here. And I think I'll get a signal. Voila. Get a signal.
For savings here at the Sleep Center.
Now, this is a Columbus station. It's about 90 miles, so we know this is legit. So we're getting this through the over-the-air antenna. So I found a signal here, so I'll label this one number 1. So this one here is number 1. Then I'm gonna do each one the same way. I'm gonna go back in there, switch it in there, then find number 2. I'll put it on number 2, and I'll find one and I'll make it number 2, and I'll do the same thing, 3, 4, all the way down. That's how I'll find my signal. Then after I get all this done, I'm ready to run the wires through, label them 1 through 8. I already got them separated, and put my block on there, patch everything up, put the cover on there, go inside and do a channel scan using a switch. I'll hook my switches up and I'll go inside and do channel scans. And I can finally wrap this up. And like I say, it's about 105 degrees out here right now. So it's hot, and I'm gonna go ahead and get this done. Okay, finally got them all hooked up. My word of advice, if you ever do this, get you a bigger box, because I had a time getting these things in there. That's it. 8 wires and blocks and stuff like that. And man, I had a time putting them things in there. So if you ever get one of these things, get you a bigger box. That's my advice, because it was a pain in the butt getting them things in there. All right, it's time to go on in there and hook my switches up and do a channel scan after I put the lid on there. All righty, one more thing. When I got these boxes, I got a good deal on them. I went to a junk store and found them. A place called Dirt Cheap. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It was like a junk aisle, and everything was 90% off, and I paid like $1.15 a piece for these things. I picked up 4 of them, so I grabbed them. And being cheap like I am, sometimes being cheap ain't the best way to go. I use these small boxes, cram all that in there. It makes it even much harder. Sometimes it's better just to go out and just buy the regular thing. If you bought these things at a regular electrical supply place, they'd be around $25 a piece. But yet if you went to Lowe's, you'd pay around $45 a piece. But I got a good deal, so I picked up 4 of them. And like I said, I crammed 8 wires. And actually, when you're talking about 8 and 8, there's 16 wires in there. Crammed them in there when you count both ends. And I had to put 16 connectors on there. Just crammed all of them in there. It's kind of hard to do that. Sometimes it's better off just getting the right one. But over here, I'm going to go ahead and put one over here on that pole right there. I got 4 wires over there. I plan on putting a 12-footer on that thing whenever I get the thing repaired. maybe put a couple L&Bs on there on the side. So I got 4 cables, and I'm gonna put a box on there. So this box would go in handy on there because I'm only running 4 cables on that one. But nevertheless, I got a good deal, so I figured I'd go ahead and get these things. I went cheap, and sometimes it's not better to go cheap. It's better off just go ahead and just get the right thing. But I figured, well, $1.50, you can't go wrong on $1.50. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this thing up. I'm gonna go ahead and go on inside and hook my switches up, and I'm gonna do a scan, and I'm gonna go ahead and get this job finished up. It's almost 5 o'clock, 5:30 out here, and it's still around almost 100 degrees, so it's time to go inside and wrap this thing up. I'll talk to you later. I'll be right back doing a channel scan. Okay, I got it. Got me some of this stuff right here, some kind of sticky tape. It's like a gooey type substance. See right there, you can just take that stuff and water it up. It's about like Play-Doh. It'll harden it up. It'll keep them bugs up out of here, see? Nice and sealed, good to go. So I got that thing good to go. I didn't pay about 50 cents a roll for it. I got that at that old junk store too. I got about 6 or 7 rolls. I pay 50 cents a roll. You gotta look around for some stuff, get you some deals, but sometimes it'll hurt you if you buy something that's too small. That's what this box here is too small, but it works. So I'm gonna go on in there and set my switches up and do a scan. And I'm pretty well done with this little project finally. Then I'll get on something else. All right, continuing on. Doing port 1, SES2. Okay, using GT Media, 105 West, port 2, 87 West, port 1, 87 West, port 1, 105 West, port 2. That's in VA channels. Okay, I'm gonna do my port 4 at 101 West. I don't know why that did that. This old thing is so sensitive. Okay, port 4, 101 West. I'm gonna hit scan now. I might go with a full scan. Most of the time I'll go with blind scan, but what the heck, GT Media is so kind of picky. I'm just gonna go with a full scan. I think I tried a blind scan one time and didn't pick nothing up. Well, think about old GT Media, I don't know whether it's a processor or what. Thing gets hot and won't scan in right. Then you unplug it and plug it back in, it scan in. I don't know, maybe it's a processor screw up or something. Well, this is SES1, port 4, just scanned in. I'll probably go back in and do another scan. As a matter of fact, I'll probably go ahead and just, let me do a blind scan on here while I'm here. We'll go with a blind, see how sensitive this thing is. See, I gotta increase my signal. It's not doing that great, so I had to go out there and bump that L&B. I think I kind of moved it around when I was playing around. I kind of twisted it wrong and it kind of moved a little bit, so I got to make some minor adjustments. It's no big deal. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go with the blind scan this next time. See how sensitive? They just barely bumped that thing. So sometimes you got to watch that up top, make sure it says single. One time I scanned in a bunch of them at one time, and I thought this thing was going crazy. It's doing everything right, but I didn't want to do that. So you got to be careful what you hit on these things. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a blind scan, see if it does anything better. Now, sometimes it does. This old GT Media is picky. I think it gets hot. Everything lined up, so what I'll do is I'll just, you know, I can go over there and unplug it and plug it back in, and more channels scan in, you're locked right on there. But sometimes these old GT Medias are just cheap receivers, you know. Sometimes you got to play around with them, you'll get it right. So I figured, well, I'll go with a blind scan and see what it does. It might do better, it may not.
then I can drag another receiver out, a little more expensive receiver, and it'll scan in them other channels like the Japan, NHK, and all those. But for some reason, this thing ain't scanning those in. It's just scanning the 7 service channels, 6, 5, 6. It might scan it. It might do it this time. I don't know. Thing about old GT Media, that's just the way GT Media is. I'm going to go ahead and pause it and wait a little bit, see what happens. That's another thing about old GT Media. See how it hangs up? There it goes. It'll hang up, but that's all I'm going to get. But then I can turn right around, stick a different receiver in, it'll scan in Japan and NHK and all those. But sometimes this old cheap thing, they don't want to do it. I'm just using this old cheap $35 receiver right now just to make sure everything's lined up, and I'll probably hook a different receiver up to it later. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do ports on my little diagram right here. I'm gonna go ahead and do port 6, and that's gonna be it. And I got that on 72 West, actually it's 72 and 71 West. It's picking up the Mexican channels. I'm gonna leave that. And another thing is I had a port 3 on 99 West as well, so I figured, well, I already locked in all my channels on ports. I had port 99 West on port 7 as well. Actually on port 9 I had 99 West as well, so all of them scanned in the PBS channels and everything. I had the transponders, not the transponders, but the skew on each dish separated because I was just getting horizontal, vertical. But I went out there and made an adjustment on my port 8, and I'm getting all my the PBS channels as well as InfoWars and Montana PBS as well. So I done made those minor adjustments on this port 8. Port 7's fine. Port 5's good. I'm gonna do another scan on port 5. Somebody told me there was a few more channels added. I'll do another scan on that. Port 4's in there. Port 3, port 2, 87 West on port 1. PBS channels is on there as well. I believe that's coming out of well, actually there's this not Montana. I believe I'm getting Florida channel and a couple of PBS channels off 87 West. I'm gonna go ahead and scan in this port 6 now, 72 West, and I think I'm kind of picking up 71 as well because I'm getting a lot of Mexican channels on there as well. A lot of them's encrypted, so what I'll probably do is just I'll just scan them all in and show you what I'm doing here. Then that should be it. You know, I'm getting everything on 99 West now. I had an issue with InfoWars, but it's coming in now. Everything's coming in. So I'm gonna go ahead and scan in port 6 next. All right, doing port 5, 97 West KU. Probably about 104 channels there. Now I'm going to the next one. Okay, I am fixing this. I already have this scanned in, but this is 71 West, and this is a Mexican satellite, and I have this on port 6, right here on port 6 on my diagram right here, 72 West. So I'm gonna go ahead and rescan this in anyway. So I'm gonna go to menu, install. See, this GT Media is very sensitive. Okay, you see how it says 600? See how strong that signal is? If you bump that up, it's gonna go away. Well, see, there it goes away. So you got to make sure this is right. You got to go down about 600 on this. This is a universal L&B. You need to leave it right around there. See how good that signal is? So what I'm going to go ahead and do, so I got my port 6 set up, and this is not a rat on 61 West. This is 71 West, a Mexican satellite. So I'm going to go ahead and scan this in, and it's got a lot of encrypted pay channels on here, and it's going to run way on up. So I'm going to show you, because I'm going to go ahead and scan this in. I just like to play around with this stuff. So I'm going to go to a blind scan. See how sensitive this thing is? Go to a blind scan, and I'm going to hit search. And I'm going to see how many channels I can pick up on this thing. This is 71 West, a Mexican satellite, and this is on my port 6. This is GT Media. It's real slow. That's what GT Media is slow. But this should have them all. Port 1 is 87 West. Port 2 is 105 West. I got it in my head. Port 3 is 101 West. Let's see. I got it in my head. I had port 3 wrong. Port 1 is 87 West. I got it set up. Port 2 is 105 West. Port 3 is actually I had it on 99. I'm gonna set that. It's already. I got it on 89 West. There's nothing active on 89 West, but there is a few transponders on there. Port 4 is 101 West. Port 5, 97 West. I'm gonna do another scan on it. Somebody told me they added some channels on there. Port 6 is 72 West. That's what I'm doing now. Port 7 is 103 West, and Port 8 is 99 West. And I'm getting all of the channels. And by the way, I'm getting InfoWars too. Somebody said it was down, but it's up. I ain't got no issues with InfoWars. It's up now. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if this thing will scan in. By the way, it is not ARAT 2. This is 170. This is 71 West. It's not 61 West. I just happen to have it on here. I guess I'm kind of lazy. I didn't want to type it in. I'm gonna move this anyway, because you see I'm just getting a bunch of encrypted stuff. And like I say, I think 93 West is dead. I think 125 West is dead. I'm kind of hoping they'll put some more stuff up. And I think I got more dishes than I got brains, because I got more I use these Usenet dishes, and I modify them. I got more of those, and there's satellites up there. So I got 16 of them going right now. Well, I don't have actually. I can, but there's nothing there. I got 3 or 4 of them pointed on something where there's nothing at. So I'm gonna move some of this stuff around, and like I said, I got everything lined up. I'm probably gonna move this 72 West over to something else different later on. Maybe they'll get something active back on 125 West or something like that, and I can move that over to that. So I'm pretty well covered on the KU bands, because I'm about to get this done. So like I say, this is done. I'm gonna get on to something else, and I'm gonna get back on my C-band stuff. I got rid of some wasp on one L&B, so I'm gonna go ahead and work on that next. I had pulled the L&B off because I wasn't getting no signal. Had wasp nests in the L&B, so right now working on that. I'm gonna work on that next. So we got 77%. There's gonna be some more channels pop up, but they're all encrypted. But I just want to show you. I think some of these are circular, but I'm not sure. They might be, which is left and right. But I think they could be linear. I think circular, you have to bring your frequencies on up higher to get the circular channels. And of course you need a circular L&B as well. It's better to have a circular L&B. Of course there's nothing on circular anyway. Everything's encrypted. You might find a 1 or 2 preview channels on there, but pretty much everything's encrypted on circular. But I think this is linear. This is, like I say, this is a Mexican satellite. See, I think we're gonna get it's hanging up. GT Media always hangs up, so maybe it'll bump on up there. I think there's more than 100 encrypted channels on this satellite. But that's gonna be about it after I get this scanned in. See, there we go. We bumping up now. There's more, and we'll probably go over 100 here. I think we are. Yeah, see, we're 105 already. We might go a little higher than that. I'm gonna go ahead and do another scan of 97 West, and then that's gonna be about it on this. So we're at 131. See, they're all encrypted. See, it'd be nice to be able to pick them up, but like I say, I can't speak. I speak a little bit of Spanish, but yeah, there ain't much about it. There ain't much. I guess if you know a lot of Spanish, you can, you know, it's good to have this. You can pick all this stuff up. But there's a lot of Spanish channels on 113 West, 117 West. But that's it for now. Port 7, 103 West. Okay, Galaxy 16. Okay, Galaxy 16, port 8. That's about it. There's your channel right there. Out of Mexico. That's one of them encrypted channels. There's a whole pile of them on there. See, it says encrypted. But I'm probably gonna move this to something else. But I got all my switches set up, and that's about it. Talk to you later. Yep, that's how I got them numbered there. 3, 5. I got these memorized already. 4 is 101 West. 3 is 89 West. There's nothing on 89 West. That's number 3. Number 6, that's 71 West. Number 5 is 101 West. And those, what's remaining there, port 1 is 87 West. Port 7 is 103 West. Port 8 is Galaxy 16 at 99 West. And I also got a bunch of them over here. So what I'm going to do, I got another switch too over here in a plastic bag somewhere. What I'm thinking about doing is daisy chaining these things. I got one of these 4-way diplex switches here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to daisy chain each one of these. I'm going to go from port 1. There's A, B, C, D here. I'm going to go A into one of these, and I'm going to go B into another one of these. I'm going to go C into another one of these, using the 2 switches, point 1 and point 2 on the diplex. And by daisy chaining them things, I can put all these on one receiver, which I'm planning on doing. And I think I can do 22 right now I can do 22 different satellites. I got 7 C-band and 14 KU band. So I'm going to daisy chain all these switches through 3 different A, B, and C on that thing. And I'm going to have 3 switches hooked on A, B, and C. And I'm going to daisy chain. I'm going to try that. Somebody says you can do that. So that's what I'm going to do. That's the plan. And then run everything on one receiver. Plus I also have multiple outputs on different LMBs, and I'm going to also be able to run another TV over here as well. So that's about it. I'm done with this project. Now I got to come in here and clean all this mess up and get all these wires fixed right. and finally get this project done. And maybe they'll put more KU birds up there. I know they done did this. I think they decommissioned like 3 of them. You know, 125 West, 93 and 95 West are gone, I believe, on the KU side. Hopefully they'll put more up there, so there'll be more stuff up there. So that's it for this video. I finally got that stuff done, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. 87 West, 105 West, Port 2, 89 West, Port 3, 101 West, Port 4, 97 West, Port 5. Right now, 71 West, Port 6, Port 7, 103 West, and Port 8 is at Galaxy 16, 99 West. That's it for now. Talk to you later.